Oh, hello. How are you, Internet? Welcome. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Rebecca Loby, and I was just popping in today to say, you guys, we have 13 new people who have signed up for my Patreon page since Wednesday, which is mathematically an enormous number of people. I'm not a math genius, but coming from 290 people, now over 300 to 305-ish, 306-ish. We're up 13 since Wednesday, and that is a significant percentage. And for me, someone who makes a living on the internet right now, because live music is canceled, very exciting. So I wanted to come online today and just say hi, thank all of the new people who have recently signed up for my Patreon page, and encourage anyone who's on the fence to please go ahead and do it, because I promise you it makes a huge impact on my life and makes me feel an enormously good flurry of feelings, like the feeling of being able to, you know, make a living as an artist and pay other musicians to help me with my craft and also pay my bills. So if any of that sounds good to you, or you just want to hear all my music, head over to patreon.com/Rebecca Loby. And in the meantime, I'm going to play you guys a song from my album Blink. Did a lot of bad things when I was young. Probably the worst of them I done were done to you. I held you in my hands and I didn't understand what I had to lose. You must think I am so small if you think of me at all. I came in like a ball of fire and trouble. Hi, David. Burned straight to the ground, and I didn't stick around to see if you were found among the rubble. Did a lot of bad things when I was young. Probably the worst of them I done were done to you. I held you in my hands and I didn't understand what I had to lose. I knew right from the start we were gonna fall apart, but I made my move. I made my move. I made my move. Snow it piles and shifts, the time it melts and drifts, and carries off the bits of what we could be. I shovel out my car, and I hope that wherever you are, you see we're all the stars of our own movies. Did a lot of bad things when I was younger. Probably the worst of them I done were done to you. I held you in my hands and I didn't understand what I had to lose. I knew right from the start we were gonna fall apart. I looked you in the eye and I didn't even try. I held you in my hands, didn't understand what I had to lose. I had to lose. I had to lose. It's so nice to have you all here. Jim, I'm not sure which Shannon you are the uncle of, but I love all the Shannons I know. I can think of at least 3 right now that I hope you are the uncle of. Um, I would love for you guys all watching to do me a huge favor if you can, especially those of you on Facebook and Twitch. If you could share this show for me, just click the share button and invite a few more people in. That would be great because I want to do a Q&A and it's more fun queuing when there are more people to pay for it. Oh God, that was terrible. But there you have it. I am so cheesy, you guys. And when I'm just here by myself all day being cheesy, it just multiplies. It really does. Commenting. Okay. Well, I mentioned it earlier, but since there are a few more people here, I will mention that earlier this week on Wednesday, I announced that over on my Patreon page, I am doing a special offer where I'm sending a hand printed bandana that says "Be nice, damn it" all over it to anyone who joins my Patreon page for $5 or more. People who join for $10 actually get 3 bandanas. The bandanas are super cute. They're soft. They're 100% cotton. They're a royal blue, and they have that logo, "Be nice, damn it," on them, which I feel like is a message that people could always use, but perhaps during these heightened times, we could use them even more. So if you're interested in that, please hop on over to patreon.com/Rebecca Loby. I'm pushing this hard right now because it's truly in this crazy time of the music industry being on pause and my normal day job of making a living as a touring singer-songwriter being disappeared. My Patreon page is the thing that is keeping my boat afloat. So I am not too proud to mention it repeatedly on the internet for a week or two. So if you'd like to join in the fun, please head on over to patreon.com/Rebecca Loby. Lauren, I'm so glad you like cheese because we've got some cheese for you today. And Jim, you are the uncle of one of the most incredible women on earth, the wonderful Shannon Wurst. That is great news. She's incredible. Willem, I'm so glad you're in the Netherlands. And over on Instagram, we've got David from the UK. So we've got some international viewership. That's fantastic. Any of you guys who are overseas, if you're thinking about joining the Patreon, please note that I do not charge extra for international shipping on these things. I figure it all comes together in the wash, and that if you live across the Atlantic Ocean and you want to support my career every month, then I will pay extra to ship you some bandanas. So head on over to patreon.com/Rebecca Loby to get some sweet, sweet bandana action. Yes. All right. Well, guys, I'm wondering, do any of you have any questions for me? I wanted to take some time. Some people had asked some questions actually about the bandana thing. I think I've answered some of those. One is that they are 100% cotton. The other is that they are being sent to anyone who is a member of my Patreon for $5 or more. $10 and up patrons get 3. If you are already a patron, then you don't have to do anything. I mean, if you're a $5 patron and you'd like 3 bandanas, you can change your pledge to $10. But if you are already at the $5 mark or more, you will be getting at least 1 bandana. Sarah Jane Nelson just joined me. She's got a beautiful Instagram feed. Y'all should go check it out after this show, of course. So this week, this week, a show that I did on Mountain Stage on NPR last September is airing on NPR stations all over the country. And I just threw the link up in my on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter last night, where you can go and check listings and see when I am airing in your market. Daniel, I'm so jealous that you're in Colorado, let's just say. Last night on the live stream, my bandmate Betty Sue was saying that recently when people have been posting pictures of delicious food, she's been thumbs downing because she's sad that she can't have that food. And Charlie Faye said, maybe I should start thumbs downing people's pictures from Colorado. Because we, from Texans, have a lot of friends hanging out in Colorado right now. It's a beautiful place to be. I'm just kidding, Daniel. I'm not giving you a thumbs down. I'm happy for you, really. I hope you're having a great time. Kidding. No, I'm kidding. I am actually happy for you. It's pretty up there, and I want us all to experience joy as frequently as possible. Because as far as I can tell, it's one of the main reasons we're here as human beings, right? Like, what separates us from the animals? I mean, I know there are happy animals, but we have thumbs. We have the ability to go out into the world and create our own experiences. And we have the memories to retain those experiences and then repeat them later. So I don't know what the answer to the universe is. I don't know why we're here on this planet, but I think that our own happiness has to have something to do with it. So anyhow, that's Becca's philosophy of the day. And that is all to say, Daniel, I'm very happy for you that you're in Colorado. I'd like to be there too. It's so pretty. But Texas is nice right now. I've always wanted a sauna, and now I have one just outside my door at any moment. Isn't that nice? Anyhow, what was I talking about before? I was saying that looking at my list again. Oh yeah, so I was on Mountain Stage last year, which is this great NPR program based in West Virginia. The lineup was so tremendous. Sean Colvin was headlining. Lucy Kaplansky played. Bruce and Kelly Robeson, who were like Texas royalty, were playing. And then I was there, and I got to open the show, and it was so much fun, and the audience was so nice. And the entire show was guest hosted by Kathy Mattea, country superstar, 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses. She's amazing. So I was so overwhelmed by my surroundings. You'll see a picture on my Instagram right now of me and Kathy Mattea just hanging out, smiling, cheesy backstage. And she was so nice to me, considering that when we first met, it was hours before the show, and I just met a bunch of the production staff. And I thought that she was a producer for the show because she was so large and in charge, like big personality, badass, very casually dressed, and like just really competent, so on top of things, so present and alert. And she stuck her hand out and she said, Rebecca, it's so nice to meet you. We're so excited to have you on the show. We've got it. Let's talk hair. She was just so disarming and charming, and, immediately brought up one of my hobbies, which is my hair. And I was like, oh my God, you're so nice. This and that hair, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I'm so sorry. I didn't catch your name. I'm Rebecca. What's your name? And she was like, nice to meet you. I'm Kathy Mattea. I mean, she didn't give me any shade. She did not even skip a beat. She was so nice. And I will love her forever for that. And then we hung out all night, and she was so kind and sweet, so good at her job. She said such nice things about me on the air, which I can now quote to Kathy Mattea from NPR. So if I didn't already love her, I love her just for that. And I was going to get to go back to Mountain Stage this summer with my band Nobody's Girl, but unfortunately Miss Rona had other plans for us, so no Nobody's Girl on Mountain Stage this year. But I do think I'm going to play you guys a Nobody's Girl song right now, just to commemorate the occasion. A song written by my band Nobody's Girl, which is myself, Betty Sue, and Grace Pettis. I saw your face in the stars last night, shining down from a clear blue sky. Colorado turned out the lights. 1,000 miles from California sand, 1,000 more to the Blue Ridge Mountains, all in the cradle of your weary hands. Staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide, looking to the left, looking to the right. Cardboard city full of government tents, kids trying to sleep over subway vents, keeping watch over cold cement. No, voting North Dakota Dakota with a native ID. Churches shot, Philly, Jersey, Kansas, Tennessee. We're all waking up to the same lost dream. Staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide, looking to the left, looking to the right. Is there a sign on your neighbor's lawn that makes you wonder how we went so wrong? Show me a side we can all get on. Saw a man quilt an 8-foot flag with just his hands and a pile of rags. Sometimes all we need is what we have. Staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide, looking in the left, looking to the right, staring at the great divide. I only see what I can see, feeling small and not that free. 'Cause from where I stand, this doesn't look like the promised land. Staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide, staring at the great divide. From where I stand, this could still be the promised land. You know, I'm allowed to say that I enjoy singing that song because I'm in a band and we all wrote it together. So it's 1/3 bragging, but 2/3 supporting my friends who wrote a really good song. So that song, The Promised Land, is written by Nobody's Girl, which is me, Grace Pettis, and Betty Sue. It's going to be on our full-length record that comes out next year. We're all really excited to sing that song because it's, for us, a message of unity. You know, people ask us why we didn't name the song The Great Divide, since that is the word that happens most often. But we think that the point of the song is really summarized in the last chorus, where we talk about the promise of this country, of the American democracy, and how it really is possible. And that's why we decided to go with the name Promised Land, because we're focusing on the future and not on our current rifts. If you'd like to hear more music from Nobody's Girl, we are all over the internet. You can follow us on Spotify and YouTube. You can pre-order that record at our website, which is wearenobodiesgirl.com. You can throw that link in the bio if you want. And you can also, if you are in the mood to move about the internet, head over to patreon.com/Rebecca Loby. Oh my goodness, we've gotten 2 new patrons. Saranaya, I hope I'm saying your name right. Oh my goodness. And Robert, thank you so much for joining. Welcome, welcome. I'm excited to send you guys bandanas, and I'm also just excited to have you on board. For any new patrons, I know I've gotten, gosh, they bring us up to 15. I've got 15 new patrons since Wednesday. And if you are new to my Patreon page, what you want to do is go look at my posts. And you have access immediately to everything I've ever posted on Patreon, which at this point is dozens of videos, over 55 downloadable songs. That's like 5 records of my music. A lot of it isn't available anywhere else. Some of it's fun cover songs, some of it's demos of songs that haven't been released yet, some of it's alternative versions of songs that are already out there. So if any of that is interesting to you, head on over there. And if you start to get a sense of what kinds of posts you like better, maybe you want to see all the videos, maybe you want to see all of the, you want to download all of the music, you can look at the tags. And the tags are a super powerful tool. You can search for just downloads, you can search just for videos, you can search just for holiday songs, maybe not the season, but you could get a head start. You could search just for behind the scenes content. I do a lot of writing back there. I probably have like a novel's worth of essays about the behind the scenes of my life on the road as a singer-songwriter. So if any of that is interesting to you, I would love for you to check it out. And I know I said we were going to do a Q&A while we were together today, but since I haven't gotten any Qs yet, let me check Twitter. Do I have any questions? Looks like no questions yet, but since I haven't gotten any questions yet, I wanted to ask you guys a question. I have two questions for you. What are we watching during quarantine? I know you guys are binge watching something. Tell me what it is so I can watch it. I want to know what series you're watching. I want to know if you've seen any good movies recently. I feel like in this era of golden television, I'm watching less films than I used to. I don't know if it's because of how good the scripted shows are, or if it's because the movies that come out have so many explosions. I like some explosions. Long Kiss Goodnight is one of my favorite movies, but I don't like all explosions and CG in my movies. So tell me what movies you've been watching so I can get on board. All right, Sarah's watching something called Yellowstone. That's cool. I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard of it. Hello, everyone who's joining us. Oh, Brandy, hi. The Old Guard, huh? All right, I'll check that out. Schitt's Creek, Canada Drag Race, World of Dance. Okay, you bring up a good point, Lizzie. I, for the last month or so, have been on a drag race crash course. I've always been on tour a lot. I know it's a lame excuse, but I've just always missed RuPaul's Drag Race. I've heard good things. I've liked the few episodes I've seen, but I hadn't ever watched a full season until season 12 this year, and I really liked it. I watched it every week. It kept me going for the first 3 months of quarantine, but I could tell that there was so much more to it that I had missed over the past 10 years. So I've started back. I think the first season I watched was 4, and now I've watched 4, 5, and 6. I'm on season 7, and I've been told that once I'm done with season 7, I can start with All Stars season 2. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying so hard to navigate the internet without spoilers now, because it's like I have these conflicting desires. Like once I finish a season of Drag Race, I want to learn everything I can about all of the characters, about all of the people on the show. But then you read about it and it's like, oh, well, they're best friends with such and so, who's the winner of season whatever. And then they went on to be on All Stars and they came in third. And it's like unavoidable. So I have to stop. I have to basically stop trying to look up trivia. I already know too much. So if you know anything about Drag Race, don't tell me. Peter, yes, the reason that the Give Up Your Ghosts lyrics aren't on my website is because revamping my website has been on my to-do list since the month before Give Up Your Ghosts came out. I'm embarrassed about this. I just haven't done it. And so I have had this mental block around putting it takes some time to get the lyrics up there. And as a matter of fact, I haven't done it since Blink came out. I did all of it in one night. So I have to, one, remember how to do it technically in the back end of my website, and then spend some time doing it. And it has seemed, I've had trouble convincing myself to spend the time doing that on my website when I really should spend that time revamping my website. I know you said no pressure and that this length of an explanation is probably making you uncomfortable, so I will stop explaining myself, but you're right. I'm overdue on putting those lyrics up. And in the meantime, I can email them to you if you'd like. Just shoot me a note to remind me. All right. You guys are all so sweet. Thank you all for being here. If anybody has any questions for me, let me know. Oh, you know what? I had one other question for you guys. I'm asking one more question because I am about to play what is probably my last song. I might encore myself. I'm having fun. I wanted to know what you guys are reading. So we've got some shows. We've got several Schitt's Creek fans. Schitt's Creek is something that I binged early in the season. I absolutely love it. I haven't gotten all the way through season 6. I've seen a few episodes here and there. I'm kind of savoring it, and I am. Is there news? Is Netflix gonna be dropping it at some point? Please tell me. Oh, thanks, Peter. So let's see. What have I been reading? I'm drawing a blank. I've read a couple things. I'm reading a book called A God in Ruins, which is a companion book to a book I read a few years ago called Life After Life. And I would hugely recommend the book Life After Life. And I'm still getting a hang of God in Ruins. Life After Life was, Life After Life was really good, and really just sucked me in. White Fragility is on my list for sure. I've been reading how to be an anti-racist. And I find it fascinating and a little like I keep having to, it's kind of textbooky, which is great. I need to read more textbooky type stuff. Academic, I guess, is the more intelligent word than textbooky. Me brain, think hard, read a book. Um, so I've been kind of reading small sections of it and then backing up and reading it again. I also have it as a book on tape, and I've been listening to it as I walk in the mornings, and I find it to be really important. It's a hugely important conversation. I mean, I grew up in the suburbs of DC and in Atlanta. I grew up in Atlanta at a time when there was a lot of, there was a really stout interracial busing system in place. So the schools I grew up in had a lot of diversity ethnically. And I grew up actually with this idea in my head that there was pretty much an equal amount of African Americans and white people in the world. I was in Atlanta, I was in an interracial school, and I remember being taught that racism was over, it was a thing of the past. And my worldview was just obviously so far from the from the reality of the world we live in today, but also from the reality of my Black classmates in Atlanta in 1996, you know? So I feel like How to Be an Anti-Racist has been very helpful for me in kind of unlearning, relearning. The writer is about my age, which is super interesting to me. Something that I love, actually, so speaking of my age, I am turning 37 with, I am turning 37. Wait, is that Brandy that I was in chorus with? Is that who this is? Okay, I'm going to get really excited in a minute. If the answer turns out to be yes. So I'm turning 37 on Monday, which is very exciting to me. And it's funny, I sent out a newsletter the other day and I mentioned in it, you know, my Patreon is turning 3 on Monday and I'm having a birthday too. And I almost wrote, and I'm turning 37 on Monday. Yeah, of course, Brandy. I almost wrote, I'm turning 37 on Monday at the end of my newsletter. And then I took it out because I thought, like, I think when you're 37, you're supposed to stop like doing a happy dance and putting cupcake emojis after your birthday. So I took it out more for other people's comfort than my own. I thought people would be like, you're not supposed to be that happy about turning 37. Oh my gosh. Brandy, I feel like we should have a catch up. It's really, really nice to have you here. The year we went to Allstate together was a really important year for me for a bunch of reasons, and I just always love getting to spend time with you. And I talked to Miss Shull on the phone the other day. There aren't that many of you here. You won't mind me telling Brandy really quickly that our middle school music teacher, Miss Shull, who was one of the most influential people in my life, she's probably the reason I'm a full-time musician. She and I are still in touch. And she comes to my gigs when I play in Atlanta. And she and I caught up on the phone the other day. And she was telling me about, she's in her 70s, and she was telling me about the volunteer work she's doing at a shelter. Like she's volunteering with young kids in inner city Atlanta, like one-on-one, like mentoring a young violin player and a young cello player and taking them, paying for their lessons, taking them to play with world-class accompanists from the symphony for the first time ever. So as she's telling me about these kids she's working with and these lives she's directly impacting, she's like making dinner for the women's shelter that she's going to take there the next day. And I'm just, whew, she is an incredible woman. And I'm just so inspired by her and so glad to know that she's still out there doing what she's doing. It's always nice to see her. Also, our middle school principal, Kathy Barlow, who I can't call Kathy, I have to call her Miss Barlow. She has occasionally come to my gigs with Miss Shull, who I also still call Miss Shull, even though she tells me to call her Suzanne. Anyhow, that's probably enough talk about Ridgeview Middle School. One other random tangent I was going to say, so I'm turning 37 on Monday, and something that I love about being a woman in my mid to late 30s is that all my friends are in their mid to late 30s and we are just getting going. My friends are doing such badass things. It's so fun because we're not interns anymore. We're not starting out at the new company. I mean, some of us are. People change careers. People, take their own paths in their own time. But a lot of people I know, especially a lot of the women that I know, have been marching down their professional paths for a long time. Sorry to throw the dudes under the bus, but I feel like guys take a little longer in their 20s and 30s to get onto their path, and then they spend longer there. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyhow, forgive me. So I just am trying to say that I know all of these really professionally badass women who are starting businesses, running businesses, getting promoted to high health, becoming doctors, helping people, lawyers, and people from all walks of life, people from all parts of my life, people I went to music school with who are now retrained to be, therapists or psychologists. And it's just really, really cool. One such woman is a woman named Becky Albertalli, whose maiden name, such an old-fashioned term, her maiden name was Becky Goldstein. She was in chorus with me and Brandy, and she is now a published, world freaking famous author. She wrote a book about 5 years ago called Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and it is a fiction, young adult fiction book, and it was the first book to be adapted. It was adapted into the first. It was adapted into the first big budget studio romance featuring a gay teenager, and it starred Jennifer Garner and a bunch of really talented teen actors from like the X-Men movies, whose names I don't know, and Becky and I reconnected after the book came out, and she's been so sweet. She's come to my shows. She put me in the second book of the series as a musician that the kids were listening to on the radio. So if you wonder why I was name checked in a New York Times top selling novel, that's why I went to. If you really want to make those connections, you got to start young. Met Becky when I was like 8 years old. All right, I'm going to play you guys one more song. This has been a really fun walk down memory lane. Y'all who have been hanging out with me for a while know that I like to do fun stuff around my birthdays. And this year is a doozy. I'm so excited about this. I am releasing a whole new project that I've been working on all summer. My patrons have gotten a couple hints about it, but I don't even think they know what's coming on Monday. So make sure to keep an eye on all of my channels between on Monday, which is my birthday. Yes, Jim, that movie got turned into Love, Simon. Thank you so much for clarifying. So, and Love, Simon, I think is available on Hulu and or Netflix. So please do check it out. I'm going to play a song that I haven't played in a while, but it came into my head today. And I pulled up the chords. I'm not shy to admit. The lyrics for this one are on my website, RebeccaLobey.com. So if you want to follow along. And let's see, do I have anything else I want to say before this last song? I guess I'll just give one more plug. If you look at the banner down there, you'll see that you can head on over to patreon.com/RebeccaLobey and become a patron of my music. It's like the Renaissance. You can be a patron of the arts, but it's, more modern. You don't need to be a king or a queen of a giant civilization. You just need to have an internet connection and $1 a month, and you can become a patron of the arts. And if you go in for $5, you'll be getting a Rebecca Lobey Be Nice bandana. Alrighty. Let's call it a night. Let's call it a draw. Let's call it a win for the quitter in us all. I've been watching closely, trying to see the ghostly shadows you left on my wall, but I can't read smoke signals, smoke signals. I can't read smoke signals. If we break this silence, hearts may break apart. I hate to break it to you. We've been broken from the start. Steady and intently, messages you've sent me, echoing like heartbeats down a hall. I can't read smoke signals, smoke signals. I can't read smoke signals. Thanks, Dana. Don't tell it on the mountain. Don't tell it on the sea. Tell me what you want from me. 'Cause I can't read smoke signals. I can't read smoke signals. Ooh, I can't read smoke signals. Smoke, I can't read smoke signals. 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 Smoke signals, smoke signals. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. If you're just joining us, you're a little late to the party, but that's okay. You can rerun it when we're done. I'm going to wrap up here in a minute. My name is Rebecca Loby. I'm going live as often as I can these days because I'm trying to spread the word about my special offer on Patreon, where you get 3 bandanas if you subscribe for $10 or 1 bandana if you join for $5. Did you like that in song form? I thought that might be more interesting than me saying it again. I also realized I brought a book over here that I grabbed off my couch. I've been reading a little bit of it every day. And it was funny. I went blank trying to tell you guys what books I've been reading. And the main one I've been reading was literally right in front of me. I've been reading. So I'd love to know what you guys have been reading. I've been reading a book called The Desire Map. It's kind of self-helpy, which isn't normally my genre of choice, but a friend recommended it to me. It's by a woman named Danielle Laporte. This is it. And the basic premise of the book is to start identifying the things you want in your life in terms of how you want to feel. It's not like a law of attraction kind of thing. I'm not big into The Secret. That's not my vibe. But this is more thinking about your desired emotions rather than thinking about your desired goals. Like, ooh, I want to release an album. I want to go on tour. I want to get a new car. I want to go on this vacation. It's like, sure, we want these things, but why do we want them? Like, what are we trying to feel? And this is all just the pitch that a friend of mine told me when she was telling me about the book. So I'm not like spoiler alerting anything, I don't think. But and the idea is you identify your target feelings and then you use those as a basis for when you're making decisions. Like, do I want to do this live stream today? Is it going to make me feel is it going to bring these desired feelings into my life? And if the answer is yes, then sure, I'll come on live and do the live stream. But if I'm thinking like, no, I actually just feel like I should because I want to be a smart businesswoman and it would be a good idea to go live on Facebook. Like, that sounds like it's not going to bring me more in alignment with these feelings I desire. So I would skip it. I'm not great at that part yet. I'm still a bunch of students in this practice. I'm trying to figure out what my goals are, what my desires are here. Schroeder, I want to say thank you so much for that comment, especially he says, here, I'm going to pull it up on screen. He says, greetings. Wanted to say you've got the face of someone with inspiration and excitement. And I love that you said that, because I've been thinking just over the past couple of days about what my desired feelings are. And inspired is one of them. So the feelings I've come up with, and I'm not set in stone here, but the things that I want to try and bring into my life, I want to be calm. I tend to get kind of stressed. Maybe stressed is the wrong word, but I get kind of fired up. And then sometimes that fire can be fun and enthusiastic, but then sometimes that fire can turn into just me spinning on a bunch of logistics and worrying about getting stuff done. So yeah, I want to chill out a bit. I want to feel calm. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel safe. I want to feel helpful. I want to feel joyful, and I want to feel connected. And it's funny because as I read that list, and this wasn't why I brought it up, but as I read that list, I think about how I'm pushing my Patreon so hard this week, and how for a lot of people, a lot of musicians, that piece, the self-promotional piece, the talking about yourself in public, the asking people to support you part, is grueling and embarrassing and hard. And for me, I think I feel comfortable with it because I know that by increasing the number of patrons that I have that I'm connected with, which is one of my goals, I am giving myself the opportunity to be more calm, to feel more safe, to feel more secure, financially, because Patreon is what pays my salary while I'm at home writing and recording and not able to sell tickets to concerts. It brings so much joy into my life, and it brings a lot of connection because I'm able to connect with the people who are most connected with my music. So anyhow, I'm trying to use that as a gauge as I make decisions. So on days when I feel like going live is going to bring those feelings into my life, then you will see me here in the afternoons. Every time I come online, I'm going to be playing 3 songs, and I am keeping a list. It's going to be different songs every time. So if you see me live, make sure to tune in, whatever that word is. And I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. If there's any song you want to hear next time, leave it in the comments. And I'll say it one more time for good measure. I am running a special offer this month on Patreon, and it would be my absolute joy to send you a bandana that says "Be Nice, Damn It" on it. 100% cotton hand printed bandana designed by an artisan that I love here in Austin, Texas. And if you join the Patreon page at the $5 level by August 26th, I will send you a bandana. And if you join at the $10 level, you'll get 3 bandanas. And that's it. And you know what? It also bears repeating that I know that times are tough right now and money is tight for a lot of people. And if now is not the time for you to join anyone's Patreon page or mine, don't worry about it. I know how it is. And I'm just delighted to have you in my life in any capacity. So anyhow, thank you all so much. And I hope you're doing well today. And I'll talk to you soon.